What up, it's your boy Rob M here with DJ Stuff, another We Rise Magazine exclusive interview here at Fresh Air Studios. What up, Stuff?
What's good, man?
Chillin'.
Alright.
Before we get into things, who is DJ Stuff?
DJ Stuff is just a DJ, man. Just, all around music loving dude. Just love to cut it up. That's about it.
When did you start doing this? So you were a youngin'?
No, actually, probably about 13, 14 years old. Yeah.
Alright. What made you start it? What made you pick up turntables?
Well, it all started. I started as a b-boy, so it all grew from
Oh,
there.
so you were breakdancing and
Yeah,
shit?
as a b-boy out there,
Spray paint, tagging shit up?
Yeah, that's what my style. My brother Pookie, of course, we all started doing that shit together. So yeah, that's
and
where
then
that's where it stemmed
DJ
from.
was just one
My
part
pops,
of it.
actually, my pops was a DJ. He had a bunch of vinyl in the basement, stuff that it was there forever, and I overlooked it all the time. But as soon as we started breaking, I started digging through his crates looking for, learning about the music and finding classic stuff in there. And he had his one turntable set up, so we would need the music outside. So I would take it, transfer it to a tape deck, and bring it out. So just kept doing that, and then that's where it transferred, my love for the whole thing, just transferred into DJing.
What were your first turntables?
They were actually my pops, Tech 1200s.
Yeah?
Yeah, like some 20-year-old joints, but those things are tanks, so they lasted me forever. Actually, up until recently, I just had to, put them out of commission.
Yeah?
They got too old to even.
So you were still using them?
Yeah. Taking them to parties and clubs.
Yeah?
Yeah, those things are tanks.
I asked Goomba the same question. He doesn't use his first turntables no more.
Yeah. I mean, I've worked on, all of them from the belt-driven ones, but, I was lucky enough to have, to have those at my disposal, the Tech 1200s. So.
It's good to fall into equipment, right?
Yeah, it is, definitely.
You
He had one that the star switch didn't work on it, so I kind of had to,
figure it out.
Yeah, figure it out. Spin it.
That's what we learned.
Help me learn about, how that shit works, so it was good.
So where did DJ Stuff come from? Did you give yourself the name, or people started calling you that? Or?
That name, that actually wasn't my first name. My first name was the Vinyl Slut, because I was into collecting vinyl. I know it sounds crazy, but that's exactly what that's what happened. I let a few people talk me out of it. Promoters didn't like putting the name on flyers and stuff, so I changed it to Stealth Bomber, and that just basically that's something that I came up with. It was just something that kind of matched my whole profile, my whole personality. I'm kind of like a stealth bomber. I'm very quiet and very, in the cut to myself. But when I'm on the set is when I set it off. When I let my personality show, I let all the energy come out. So just like a stealth bomber, you kind of off the radar until you do what you do, and then that's it, and you're gone.
So it's time to pop off. So
So
who were your influences as a DJ? Who did you grow up on?
I grew up on, all the cats coming up on the radio, Funk Flex, Mr. C, Enough, Green Lantern, of course, Coco Chanel. Anyone was on the radio, really, that's where it started, my love, just tuning into Hot 97,
Who's your favorite out of everybody? You had to pick
my favorite? I mean, there's so many, man, even the greats like Kid Capri and Premier and dudes like that, just from around, we could talk about just from around my way, from around with Long Island, cats like Super Dave and 4-5, DJ Ev, cats like that, who were putting the shit down, listening to their tapes and just wanted to do what they were doing. So, but definitely, all the greats. I mean, we could mention them all day, but
Would you consider yourself on their level? All right, now I could work with these guys rather than more so be a fan.
I mean, yeah, I'll always be a fan. I can't say I'll ever be on any of those dudes levels. I'm trying to get there.
Be bashful.
No, word, of course. I mean, I've done a few things, whatever, but it's all trying to get to where these dudes were at and do what they were doing, what I mean? So I'll never be at the level, because as I'm trying to get where they're at, they're already, moving on to the next thing, so trendsetters and shit, so. But, I'm just trying to make my own path the same way they did, just taking a little bit from all my favorites and piecing it into my own style,
It's a good way to look at things. Word. Fans first.
Fan first.
So what do you do for fun in your spare time? Everyone's got some kind of hobbies and shit, not DJing around the clock.
I mean, yeah, that's really what music is, DJing and producing, and I guess producing is kind of like my hobby now, something I'm really just starting to touch on. But yeah, I really don't have anything I like doing. I mean, I love being in nature and camping and doing shit like that. Outside of music, that's really what I love to do.
Yeah.
But,
you producing, alright.
I'm
always you worked with in the past and done shows with. Who you working with currently?
Currently, I'm the tour DJ for Nina Sky. So, they're R&B and I've toured the world with them. You know, all the way back. It's been a few years. I've been, you know, I started with them. So really, they're pretty much the only artists I've had that experience with as far as performing and rocking on stage, doing things like that. So
it's gotta be crazy, right?
Yeah, it's been crazy. Definitely, it's been crazy.
I'm sure they sell out venues.
We've seen, yeah. I mean, you know, not all of them have been crazy. You know, you do shows for a little bit of people, a lot of people, but it's still a great experience. You know, doing it all over the world.
Where's your favorite spot you've gone over the world?
My favorite spot, I have to say, you know, actually I haven't been there. I started at the airport, but I haven't been up in there, so that's somewhere I would definitely love to go. So I'm sure it would end up being my favorite once I'm there, but Croatia, I think, is my favorite. Shout out to Fat Philly, shout out to all the people out there who hold us down when we go out there, but yeah, I think it's a great, you know, great vibe, great place for hip hop. It thrives there, so it's cool.
Croatia. Now, where exactly is that? My geography is a little fuzzy.
That's Europe. Oh man, I don't know. My geography's kind of crazy. Like, nah, I don't know. I don't want to say the wrong thing, like Northern Europe or something like that. But it's in Europe, over there somewhere.
All right. So when you're at a club spinning with Nina Sky, or even just on your own, what 3 records or any records get spinning in prime time, no matter what?
3 records, man. That's hard because it all depends on the venue. It all depends on the type of crowd. Like, you know, you could be going so left with a set and be killing and getting crazy crowd response. You know what I mean? So that's really hard to say the top 3. I mean, I know one that is surefire anywhere you go, and that's Looney's. I Got 5 on it.
Yeah.
That's you know, that'll crack any crowd, anywhere, any place of the world. You know, that's like universal right there. So I'd probably say that one joint right there.
I usually got. So where can people catch your radio shows? Will it be online or?
Word online. I mean, you can catch me on StrongIsland.com, of course, and
shouts to LA.
Yeah, shout to LA. Skeeter Rank, who just came from there actually. My man DJ Goomba's in the building.
Alright.
And
Goomba.
DJStealthBomber.com. Just follow me there. Follow me on Twitter at DJStealthBomber. You know, all that stuff, and you know, you pretty much keep updated. But yeah, that's where we at. So we got a new show coming called Live from the Vault that we're gonna be doing on Sunday nights. But you know, you'll see about it. You know, all the web.
Is that where they would see it, or is it Live from the Vault?
No, it'll be on, you know, DJStealthBomber.com.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, just follow me there and you can keep up to date with anywhere I'm at, what I'm doing, parties, whatever. So.
Sounds good. DJStealthBomber.com. So, what's the favorite project as of right now you've been involved with?
I'd have to say my own mixtapes. I mean, they're my favorite because they're the most fun to make. You know, I'm putting, you know, effort into all the intros and stuff like that. So to see it all come together, you know, on the mixtape fashion, so I'm a real fan of the, you know, old school hip hop mixtapes where I actually mix and showing off DJ skills and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
me too.
That's my funnest project to work on.
How many have you put out?
Put out you know, as many as I can. I mean, a whole bunch. So since I first started, like, you know, the first thing you do is you record yourself, you know, so you can listen back and hear it. So that's really how the first mixtape started. And then after that, you just keep getting ideas and putting stuff together. So I probably couldn't count how many I've done, but definitely gonna keep doing them, putting them out, you know. So
that's what's up.
always gotta keep that art form alive. You know, it's really an art form that
don't get rusty.
Can't let it fall off. You know, being that everything's getting digital and going crazy with everything.
Yeah.
So it's good to keep the art of DJing. You know, it's a way to put it down on something, so you know it can be.
Yeah. And with the internet too, it's free form. You can put as much stuff up as you want.
Definitely.
Very easy way to promote and connect to millions.
It's definitely a revolution in music. You know, like opening the gates for anybody. You know, there's really no more excuses anymore.
Yeah.
Like, you can't talk about not being able to get a deal or anything like that. Like, yo, you have the power right here. Like, right.
There's no more. Oh, I don't live close enough to the labels. You know? Like,
it's still hard. It's still hard work. You know, you still have to come with something. But you know, it makes it once you have it. It's, you know,
and you can create your own buzz from
the
it.
world. To the world.
Yeah. Everybody's creating a buzz. YouTube. So, what would you say your greatest accomplishment in music has been so far as a DJ or in life in general?
As a DJ, I'd have to say touring. Probably my greatest accomplishment. I mean, it's something I always wanted to do, even as a dancer. You know, as a b-boy, the first thing we talk about is how can we travel the world doing this. So, you know, making up with Nina Sky and touring all over.
Now, how did that come about? How did you link up with Nina Sky?
Just mutual friends. You know, like it ended up they had a situation where they needed a DJ and quick. You know, I had to quit my job and run and get a passport. Like the first show I did with them was overseas, so like I quit my job and ran and got a passport, and I was just working a 9 to 5 in a warehouse, you know, nothing crazy, you know, packaging, shipping, and all that stuff. So, But
I would have did that too.
Yeah, I had to drop
like, I'm not gonna come in.
I saw it
for the next month.
Yeah, I saw the opportunity, and it's been cool ever since.
Nice. So it's a good look too.
Yeah, definitely.
Who'd you like to work with in the future that you haven't yet, or you'd like to again?
There's a whole bunch, man. Everybody I'm a fan of, I would love to work with. You know what I mean? Such as the greats like Premier. That would be a great thing.
Now, what would you be able to do as far as collaborating with another DJ? Like, if you guys do a mixtape together, or
yeah, of course. Yeah. Okay. Mixtapes, beats, you know, whatever. Anything musical we can collab on, or we can vibe with. It would be, you know.
We even just feeding off each other, getting ideas, building connections and shit.
That's how it starts, man. That's the creative process right there, you know. Just putting ideas out, and then it starts to build and build and build, and it turns into something crazy, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, just people like Static Selector, Terminology, you know, Sky Zoo, any of the dudes coming up right now, I would love to get in the lab with, and, you know, drop some beats and make some tracks.
My man actually just did a track with Terminology. Shout out Type. You should be doing this interview, motherfucker. So is there any advice you would give to up-and-coming DJs that to get to wherever they want to be, or how you started, or...
Some advice, just to, you know, don't stop, you know, keep learning, know the history, you know, I know, like, you know, we touched on a little bit about everything being digital and the internet, and, you know, it's great to, you know, you can learn fast right now, go to the store and get everything you need, come home and boom, you got an instant DJ, instant setup going, so, but it's just important to know, you know, it's cool, that's a great thing, you know, that makes it available to everybody, but you also got to know the history and just know everything about it, as much as you can about it. You know, I think that's the most important thing, not just learning the music or staying up on what's hot, you know, learn how everything works, and doing that will just make you gain so much, you know, your talent.
In your opinion, what would you say is needed in hip-hop to get it back to the root of it, like the 90s and the late 80s for it? Like, what are we missing, or what is there too much of that we need to get rid of?
Actually, I feel like it's getting there. I feel like, you know, with everybody being able to put out projects and put out their work independently, I feel like it's gotten back. I don't think we could ever get back to what it was at the time. You know, everything has just changed so much. It's just something that's impossible to do. But I feel like that energy is back in the music, you know, because with the internet, it's kind of forced the industry to raise the bar a little bit, because now the real talented MCs and the real talented DJs, producers, whatever, can put their stuff out there to be heard. So it's not like, you know, you have to be out there, you know, selling out, grinding, trying to get on with all these labels and stuff like that. So
you don't even have to DJ in a club anymore, really, to get. And
I feel like that's how it started. You know, that's where the '90s hip hop era. That's why it's so great, because people coming up in that era were just putting their music out. You know, it wasn't like you had to get signed here, signed there. There was 1,000 more record labels out putting out that really good hip hop. So I feel like it's back to that now. Now it may not be that time. Now there's a lot of garbage put out there too because of that, but it's also brought the talent out and put it out there, so now the bar is a lot higher. So,
well, it could be a plus and a minus too, no? As far as, like we were saying before, the gates kind of opened up for opportunity, but when there's more opportunity, there's also more, let's be honest, trash. Like, it's easy to get bullshit out there, you know?
Exactly. So anybody with a microphone or anybody with a, you know, little recording setup can get their album out, whatever their you know, project out, and get downloads and get hits on the internet, and it's just something that came, you know, like you said, it's the gift and the curse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
could be oversaturated with bullshit or flooded with bullshit. Of course, is there anyone you want to shout out, or any projects you got coming out that you want to start pushing?
Definitely, man. Shout out to, you know, A.I.R Magazine for putting us on. Shout out to my Mighty Rebel DJ clique, you know, my man DJ Goomba, Spanky. Shout out to my big brother Pookie, who's in here hanging out. All the Strong Island, man, because, you know, we represent that. Shout out to Nina Sky, shout out to Mike Styles, Nasty Ones NYC, shout out to Blackout Hip Hop, you know, everybody supporting the Rebel movement, supporting Stealth Bomber, and yeah, my family, everybody.
StealthBomber.com, correct?
DJStealthBomber.com. Check it out, follow the kid. Let's go, it's the Rebels.
Alright. We're looking at any interview stuff.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Here we are with We Rise Magazine, another exclusive interview. We'll have more in upcoming issues.